In today's video, I'm gonna go over some of my favorite dividend stocks on M1 Finance. And also, I'm gonna give you a quick tutorial on how to use the M1 Finance website. I'll also be showing you how to set up your portfolio and how to create extra pies within a pie so you can get your portfolio to the exact way that you want it, like how I have mine right now. Watch until the end of the video to find out how to do that, and I'll give you a special tip at the end. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bruce Wang. I do a lot of Robinhood Investment Challenge videos, but today I'm gonna do a M1 Finance video and show you exactly how I have my M1 Finance portfolio set up, and I'll show you guys exactly how to do it as well. I used to use the M1 Finance app on my phone a lot, but now I kind of switched over towards the website because I just found out it's a lot easier to move around your stocks, and whenever you need to adjust anything, using the website is a lot easier and a lot better. If you guys want to check out any videos about M1 Finance on the app, check out my older videos. In today's video, it's just gonna be straight M1 Finance on the website. So let's jump right into the screen share. This is the Wang Gang portfolio on M1 Finance. Total value at the moment is $693.54. When it comes to this portfolio, I'll be showing you exactly how it's doing week by week. I make about like one M1 Finance video a week at my current rate. So I'll be showing you on my down days and on my up days. And currently I'm down $3.59, and dividends earned is 72 cents. So all that is gonna be reinvested into other stocks. My current portfolio has about 14 slices in it, and I'll go through a lot of them and explain why I have them that way. But basically, I wanted to get exposure into every piece of the stock market, so that's why I decided to have my portfolio this way. When it comes to the website, it's just a lot easier to read all of the portfolios, activities, holdings, and funding when it comes to your entire account, just because you have so much more space to work with. On the mobile app, it's just so tight and the screens are so small, so it's so hard and it's really difficult to read some of the information there. When it comes to the activities on my portfolio, I don't really change it too often, but I did rebalance it many times since I started this account, just because I didn't like how my portfolio was. But I put a lot of time into it this week and last week, and I kind of have my portfolio set, and I think that this is how I'm gonna roll with the portfolio from now on. So the last time that I rebalanced it was just a few days ago. And if we look at the trades here, you can see that I did 26 buys, and here are all of the new companies that are in my portfolio. I'm just gonna scroll through this really quickly. It's not that important right now, but if you take a look here, I do have a lot of index funds, so I'll kind of explain that later on in the video. And here are the 35 companies that I sold off, and I'll give you a reason why I sold off all these companies as well. A lot of these companies I still own, it's just that I sold a portion of it off, and that's what it means to rebalance your account. And if you are rebalancing your account, you can see all the trades here. On M1 Finance, you have fractional shares, so they will be trading a fraction of whatever your new slice of pie is. When it comes to rebalancing your account, I don't think that you should be rebalancing your account too often, because I think when I did my trades here, I lost some money on the rebalance. And I realized that every time I rebalance my account, I do lose a little bit of money. This is small chump change. It's not that much. It's a lot better for me to rebalance than to keep my old portfolio, which I don't think was that good. And if you guys want to see the exact portfolio that I have, I'll have a link in the description, and everything is going to be in the links in the description. All the good information is all going to be down there. And here are my holdings. Just really quickly, again, you can see that I have a lot of index funds, and that is because a lot of the sectors that I'm in, I don't have that much knowledge in them, and that's why I decided to buy a lot of Vanguard index funds for certain sections in my portfolio. If you guys are just beginning on your M1 Finance, don't get caught up in the jargon. If you don't understand some of the stuff that I'm saying, you guys can pause the video, go look up the words, and then come back to it. But I will try to explain it better the more we go into this account. Moving on to the main theme of this video, I'm gonna help you guys create and customize your own pies to have it the exact way that you want it. And mainly you want to go into this research tab here, and after you get into this research tab, move on into the My Pie sections. And as you can see here, these at the top here, you can see the word unused, and this is my Robinhood portfolio. So I created a Robinhood portfolio on my M1 Finance, just so I can track my Robinhood portfolio on M1 Finance whenever I need to. And what's good about this is that it gives me my dividend yield. If you look at my cursor here where I highlighted dividend yield, on the Robinhood app, it doesn't give you this information. You have to kind of eyeball it yourself and calculate it on your own. And that is time consuming if you don't really know what you're doing. But on the M1 Finance, after you set it up, and after you set it up one time, it'll just give you the exact amount here. And you can see the expense ratio, and you can see exactly how many holdings you have. So it's a lot better from a bird's eye view. And that's why I decided to just have this here. And I kind of update this once a week or once a month. And these are my exact holdings and the exact targets that I have for each and every single one of my holdings. A 6.7% dividend yield is very high and somewhat risky. So just be aware of that. Don't try to chase the dividend yield. Chasing a stock for dividend yield only is gonna be really risky because there are a lot of blue chip stocks out there that are a lot less in dividend yield and a lot safer and a lot less risky. So again, you kind of have to know where your risk tolerance is. For myself, all I want to do with my portfolio is I just want to have this create some passive income for me. I just want to put money in and have the dividends build up over time. So later on in the future, it will be paying for some of my bills, paying for some of my living expense. And that is the main goal for my channel and main goal for my investment portfolio. So how do you create your own pies? Here we go. All you have to do is click on create your own pies. And at the top here, you can see it'll say stocks, funds, my pies, expert pies, and your watch list. So what I did was, if we take a look down here, I created one pie for each and every single sector. So let's take a look at how to read some of these stocks here. The first stock here is Microsoft, and it's arranged through the market cap value. And Microsoft is the biggest company in the world at the moment. Dividend yield is 1.46%. And you can see some price history. That's the 1 year, this is a 3 year, this is the 5 year. And the PE ratio is 28. And I believe that these dots here represent the risk of the stock when it comes to the PE ratio. So the more blue dots that it has, the higher the PE ratio will be. So let's take a look at another company with a lower PE ratio to see how it is. So this is AT&T, and if we look at the PE ratio, you can see that there's only 2 dots out of 3. So the lower the PE ratio, the less dots there will be. AT&T, I also have this stock in my portfolio. So let's say if I'm a complete beginner and I wanted to create a dividend investing portfolio as a complete beginner, I would start with index funds, and I would probably start with HPHD. This company I am heavily invested in my Robinhood account. I think I have over $1,200 invested in this account over there. And let's say I want to add this to the basket, and I would add it. And here we go. So this is a brand new pie that I just created. And let's say I want to edit this pie. I could just create the different name, dividend investing, monthly dividends, and let's say I want to add more dividend investing stocks. Again, another great company is Realty Income. I can also add that to the basket. And here is one of the best parts of finding out a lot of stock information, or just filtering out all of these stocks, because there are probably thousands of stocks here that you can choose from. If we look at the filters here, you can see you can filter it out by market capitalization, PE ratio, or dividend yield. So this is what I did. I put a 3% dividend yield, and max. I didn't really test out the max, but if we put 3% dividend yields, and it is still arranged by market cap. This is ExxonMobil Corporation, a dividend yield of 4.72%. I have this in my portfolio as well, but it is not a monthly dividend stock. Another ETF that I would invest in if I was just beginning into dividend investing is DIA, also known as Spider Dow Jones Industrial Average here. AUM stands for assets under management, and they have $21.5 billion under management. Expense ratio is a little bit high, but a lot lower than SPHD, it's 0.17%. And the dividend yield is also 2.2, and that is a very respectable dividend yield. When you do invest, make sure you do your own research. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. Top holdings is Boeing and United Health Group, and add it to the basket. You can add it here. So to wrap all this up, to finish creating your own pie, this is what you want to do. You want to allocate exactly how much percentage you want in each and every single stock or ETF here. And let's say if you wanted 20% in DIA and you wanted 20% in realty income, so you would obviously have to have 60% in SPHD to make that a total of 100%. And again, all these three ETFs and stocks, they will provide you with monthly dividend income. And once you press save, you will have your new pie ready, and all the information will be calculated. So here is the 5-year performance of this pie here. You can see that in the last 5 years, this pie alone has gone up 32%. In the last 3 years, gone up 21%. And moving down the line, in the last week, it's gone down 0.52%. 3 holdings, dividend yield is 3.644%, and this is a reasonable dividend yield in my opinion. So take that for what it's worth. And if you go back to my pies, you can see that this is the pie that I just created, and it is in the unused pile. And if you click add to the portfolio, it would add that new pie into your own portfolio. And then, so now you know how to kind of create this style of portfolio like that I have now. So now I kind of want to show you my portfolio and how I set the percentages. So this is the Wang Gang portfolio. It is down 0.28%. It's not doing too well over the last 2 months, just because the stock market has been very volatile. So it hasn't been too good for me, but I still have been collecting that dividends. If we take a look at the dividend yield, I'm shooting for a 4% dividend yield on my portfolio. And I think that this is a really great average for my entire portfolio. So let's say, for example, if I had $10,000 invested in this portfolio, in 1 year from now, this portfolio will have generated me $400, but that is not included with the compounding effect of all my dividends reinvested. So if we include that, it would be a lot higher. So if you had a lot of different pies in here and you wanted to edit them, all you have to do is just edit them this way. Click on the edit button. So currently I have this set up perfectly to the way I want it, and it is perfectly balanced. And if I wanted to change it up, I can just, this is how it would change it up. I'll just adjust it very slightly. So when it comes to my safest investment, I think that the lazy 3-fund pie here is the most safest, because in this pie I have 40% of it allocated to bonds. And bonds are probably the most safest things that you can invest in. BND, I think, is one of the safest ones out there. Vanguard is one of the most reputable brokerages out there, and I invest a lot of my money into Vanguard index funds. So total assets under management is 37 billion. Expense ratio is very low, 0.04%. Dividend yield is 2.8. And if we look here, they pay out dividends very regularly as well. On the 3-month chart, you can see that all these dividends are almost one dividend every single month. And on December, they pay like multiple dividends. But it is not a lot, but when you do add it all up, it does have a compounding effect. So the lazy 3-fund portfolio will average around 7%, and that's not every single year. Some years it will be up, some years it will be down, but on average, historically, it has been around 7%. And the more riskier ones that I'm investing in is probably the small dogs of the Dow and the regular dogs of the Dow. This is something that's brand new to me, but I kind of want to test it out. So that's why I have 10% for the small dogs of the Dow and 5% here. on the regular dogs of the Dow. Yeah, I went over this in my last video, so if you want to check it out, go into the cards here to check it out. I'll link it right there. And I think you guys are probably wondering what I did with all of these different sectors. So like I said, you can break out the entire stock market into many different sectors, and I wanted to be exposed into each and every single one, just so that if one sector crashes, it doesn't really affect too much into the other ones. And the lowest one is utilities here. I chose to go with the Vanguard utilities, and that's because of one reason, and that reason is I do not know anything about the utilities sector. I went into the research bar and looked into some of the companies that are there, and I have to tell you that I don't recognize any of these companies. So you don't know what you don't know, and if you don't know what to invest in, I think that going with index funds are probably the better idea, and that's why I chose to go with Vanguard. Vanguard is, when it comes to each and every sector, I think Vanguard has an index funds for every single one. So they have one for like value investing. That's not one of the sectors, but Vanguard Energy is one of the sectors, and I think that I'm also invested in Vanguard Energy as well. If you don't know anything about like technology, they have Vanguard Information Technology that you can invest in. If you don't know anything about real estate, Vanguard has a real estate index fund for that. Going down each and every sector, they do have a index funds for each and every single one. So if you want to go down that route, that will probably be the safest way to do it, just because there's just too many stocks out there for me to do research on, and I'm just not going to know everything in the stock market. So when you invest in an index fund similar to Vanguard Utilities here, you're investing in the whole entire sector. So this one is holding 69 different stocks, and the top holdings here are Next Era Energy, Duke Energy Corporation. And when it comes to this specific ETF, it is paying out dividends every quarter as well. So for utilities, I invested in that index fund. So when it comes to the technology sector, I went with my own picks. Intel, HP, all these companies are blue chip stocks. The ones with higher dividend yields, I kind of weighted my target towards the ones with higher dividend yields. When it comes to like Apple and Microsoft, I'm not sure how much bigger that these companies can grow, since they already are the biggest companies in the entire market. So that's why I chose to go with a lower target here, and a higher target with the companies that pay out a higher dividend yield. So Intel is paying out a 2.8% dividend yield, and it's a blue chip stock. And industrials is gonna be the last slice of the pie that I'm gonna go over. When it comes to this slice, I have 5 holdings. Dividend yield is 3.3% and no expense ratio, so I'm not invested into any ETFs here. 3M is also a company on Dogs of the Dow, and 27% here. So this one is a bit more even. UPS, Parcel Service, a lot of these companies have really great dividends, and Waste Management, their dividend yield is a lot lower, and that's why I kind of weighted it at only 10% target. So when it comes to all of these other sectors, I'll kind of go over them with you in the next video. So hopefully this video helped you find dividend stocks, helped you do some extra research on like ETFs and stuff. And for the main point, you learned how to create different pies within a pie. So that's also known as pieception. And if you guys still want to watch more videos about M1 Finance, you can go check out my last one here. And if you want to watch any videos about Robinhood investing, go check it out here. And don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification so you don't miss out on any content coming up. I come out with about 3 videos per week, and I'm kind of trying to bump that up to 4 videos a week. So stay tuned for more content. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Love you 3000. Bye.